Hey Fred, that's my birthmark. I have a birthmark shaped kind of like a diamond on my knee, on my right knee. Was diamond one of the penis options for tattoos? It was heart, swastika. I can't remember what the other two, because heart and swastika stuck in my mind. And why those symbols were chosen, I wonder. I liked your driving video that you did just recently. So let's talk a little bit about it. Let's actually just talk a little bit about anything and everything, shall we? Or I'll talk at you. You can talk back, of course. No one needs to tell you that. Since tattoos, birthmarks, Sassy Bob's ass. I don't know if you saw Tattooed Skin's video about Sassy Bob's ass is not mine, and it's not yours either, I think was the title. He's such a riot. I could see, I understand sometimes people pick on him, I guess a lot, and I could kind of see why. He sets himself up. It's a slow pitch, and maybe he does it consciously. If he does, he's a genius. And if he doesn't, he has remarkable coping skills. Sassy Bob. So Sassy Bob said she was going to, have her butt tattooed, and somehow we'd all get to pay for a lottery shot at a stamp on her bum. But it didn't come about the way that she thought it would. Maybe she didn't think that. Maybe she didn't think it would at all. Maybe the whole thing was a plan for failure. And then the next stage, I saw Philip DeFranco was becoming involved, and maybe he would arrange to have DeFranco Nation tattooed on her butt, which I don't believe that's going to happen either. I think that's the first step Sassy Bob took, was probably just to generate buzz. I mean, man, it was a lot of people talking about her butt. And then having DeFranco mention it, even as a possibility, because he said it was a possibility, which kind of leaves him an out for it not happening. It's just him throwing that out to his, he's one of Google's 4 horsemen. He's a mainstay. He's in it for the long run. And he had that kind of dead look that he gets when he's promoting something he doesn't want to. He had a similar dead look when he was promoting Pompaloose music. What else? Oh, he's like, go with Google Chrome because it's faster. Anyway, he just had this kind of like, I gotta carry water and chop wood for my boss. Yeah. And that's the thing about your boss, like being partnership, having partnership. I think it'd be wonderful to do something like Pompaloose. They play music and they get paid for it when they perform. They get paid for it when people download. They don't even have to give anything. They download electronic albums, which is brilliant. All they have to do is play, record, set up a PayPal account, and boom, it's making money. Making money while they're taking a bath together. That visual image threw me for a minute. But then like us, or Professor Anton, who went and seemed to be quite happy. I remember he was like, "I'm going to go partner." He had this kind of excited look, like he embraced it. I wouldn't want to do that. Like, I've got messed up ideas about money. I don't want to. I love the fact that I don't like my job, because I think not liking your job and money go hand in hand. If if I liked my job and they started to pay me, I'd say, no, I'm volunteering. I will like my job when I'm not getting paid for it. Thank you. No idea having an ad underneath my face right now and an ad off to the side with that kind of creepiness of it, that like, hey, look at that ad. Gosh, I was just searching for that on Google last night. Oh. Yeah. That lets you know just how tracked you are. And if that bothers me, wouldn't I like to take my village, my tube tribe, elsewhere? And wouldn't you? Or wouldn't we like to just detach this whole floating island of tubers and drift away altogether? And who and how would that come about? Who would sponsor it for free? How could we all freely be together? Because to me, it's like my equivalent of, when I want to learn something, when I want to be exposed to something, and I type it in, when I come up with an idea, and I wonder if anyone else has had this idea. Yeah, they have. And it doesn't make me feel that, any less unique, actually. It makes me feel more connected and almost, I don't know, almost as if what the things I feel are more valid if I find other people doing them, especially if I can't find anybody in my immediate vicinity that is doing what I do or even agrees with what I was doing. My whole idea of turning a U-Haul like that into a dwelling, a lot of people are like, like, negative reactions to it. And then I get on YouTube and I see all these people doing it. And so I was like, I don't want to do anything that might diminish the YouTube universe, the tubeverse. Tubeverse. Trademark.com. I'll make my money off of that. People could, when the tubeverse opens, I will hold the key. Well, who else should we touch base on? Let's just touch base on Professor Anton for just a moment. Actually read, no, I didn't read it. I might not even say I'm reading one of Corey Anton's books. But I made a fair bit of distance into it and came to a conclusion that I'd almost have to start over again, because I realize I'm reading a kind of a poetry. And part of what I struggled, I can't remember the name of the title either. Part of what I struggled about it is a lot of it seemed to be, and I've picked this up on his YouTubes as well, is he references things a lot. So it almost makes you think that, like, if I had one of those little e-readers, and every time he referenced somebody, I slap on a book and slap on a book and slap on a book. And it's almost, he wasn't actually talking about anything as much as quoting some excellent opportunities to learn more or to get inspiration for what he was talking about. And then, of course, I don't know these people, and so I can't even know, actually, if the stuff that doesn't sound like he's quoting might be references or his thoughts on references to something else. I remember reading a sci-fi once where a dignitary came to this planet as a direct representative of the Emperor, and it was very, very important. And they recorded everything he said, and then at the end they ran it through a computer program that removed everything that was extraneous, looking for the message that was being brought. And after everything was removed, all the quotes and references from everything else, absolutely nothing was left. And they thought, well, that actually couldn't have been accidental. You can't just not say anything. You can't not just speak for a long time and have it be no meaning. Or what you say has meaning, and then you say something else that removes that meaning perfectly. What do you have left then? Not that I'm saying Professor Anton that does not have any meaning. I'm just saying it's cloaked in poetry. And almost sometimes you're like, I think he's talking to other poets. And anyone that says, oh, could you just say you were talking to a 6-year-old? How would you? What was that you're saying? I don't think he'd want that. I think that was his thing with Gary, and that couldn't have been accidental. I mean, I have very little interaction with Do Not God, and I know what not to say. And so if Professor Anton doesn't know what to say, you'd almost think that he does know what to say, and he's not going to say that. It's like you're going to do it on his terms or not at all. So, and Gary's such a character. I got on one of his stick cams recently. I didn't join, actually, because it was pretty late. I just kind of wanted to see what the system was. Then I saw Foo from Foolish Productions on there, which I quite like. I like me some Foo. And he was talking to everybody, and he's like, I should almost think that if I would have saw him on stick cam before, I might have gotten a lot more out of a lot of his videos, especially like the Do Not God ones. Because some of them were really kind of shocking to me and abrasive. You know, he talks about, you know, lighting fire under people to bring about change. But, you know, like suddenly, like you find yourself in the fire, like, oh! But I saw him on stick cam, and you could tell that he has some really. He talked about, like, he's like, I'm a funny guy. I could be a comedian on YouTube, but that's not why I'm here. You know, I'm here to do this. You know, it sticks to his purpose. Which is admirable. But then I saw him on stick cam, and you saw him, you know, you saw that he has friends, and he is a funny guy, and he does have, he's real personable, and you can see why, oddly enough, that he would attract a large group of friends, people that would care about him. Because I remember once, when early on, I clicked on one of his videos before I understood him, and he had just edited out, he was doing his walk and talks, which are almost like run and rants, the run and rant, and so every time he cussed, he cut out just that section, so there's this weird, his face was kind of floating around in the middle of the screen, nature was just strobing in the background, and it was just this non-stop pouring out of profanity, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I was like, I felt afterwards I needed to take a profanity shower. Get all that profanity off me. Oh gosh. Who should we wrap up with? Because I'm pretty talked out. Sometimes I feel like I have a limited amount of words. I mean, here we are on YouTube, which is my channel is a lot of me talking. But I feel like sometimes, when I first got my dog, I've told this story a bunch of times because I didn't quite realize it until it happened. When I first got Aquila, I took 3 days off because he was kind of sick to deal with him. And on the third day, I said something like, do you want to go for a walk? And he jumped, and I realized that's the first I've spoken in 3 days. He hadn't heard my voice up till then. Yeah, sometimes I think I'm gonna run out of words. I'll just be done. The idea kind of fills me with relief. I thought about what it would take to be a perfect human being, and I was reading a book. I can't remember the name of the book. It was something like "Home is where the heart is." It was something home something. But there was a movie made on it about the woman that has a baby in Walmart. And one of the characters in the book tended to mostly repeat something you just said in a way that like conveyed agreement or understanding. But mostly, if he was going to do something, you'd know by his actions. Somebody would say something, and if he didn't repeat what you just said, he'd just get up and start doing something about what you just said. And I thought that would be a perfect way. Just to not speak and just let my actions speak for me. Like the last person I'd like to wrap up with is as I said that, I started thinking about several people that I could talk about. But it was pretty much just Alma Farag. He's an interesting character. It's I really like. I don't ask a lot of questions normally. I really like to let things unfold. And Irma was like, "So, well, what if you never learn?" And I'm like, "Well, like the excitement of waiting and the joy of discovery. There's also the excitement of waiting and the joy of mystery." I kind of think that Alma Farag is an enjoyable mystery. I quite like his stuff. Alright, well, I could go on, and you know I can. But I think that's enough for now. Keela and I have got to go. But it's nice talking at you, Fred, and I'll talk at you later.